Hierophant. I am Crystal, your tarot reader. I hope you are well. I hope your family is well, and I hope that glowing spirit of yours is well. I know it's like, Hattis Daughter, are you gonna upload videos? Family, I have been trying to upload videos for about 2 weeks, and the energy has just been so all over the place. I just didn't feel comfortable uploading what I had. It just didn't feel connected. The energy now is getting more stabilized. I feel more joy. I feel more compassion. I feel more hope. So thank you so much for waiting for me. I will be uploading the winners. And I don't like to say winners because it's not like it was a competition. I will be uploading the ones that I chose for the complimentary readings on my Instagram first. It is, what's my handle? Hattis Hierophant. So difficult. It's going to be on Instagram at Hattis Hierophant. So check there first to see if you were chosen. And not every sign participated, so I still chose 12 people. So there's that. What else? I'll make a separate video announcing the winner, so that might come later on in April, but April 1st you will see it on Instagram. Let's go ahead and do your April 2020 reading. The center of your reading is the Temperance card. And the energy I get from that right away is one of relying on your own intuition, your own relationship that you have with spirit. It's almost like you had an inkling of what was to come. It's not like you could pinpoint exactly what it is, or you could tell people, hey, watch out for this particular thing, this particular virus, or what's going to happen in the stock market, our jobs, etc., etc. It's not that you knew that, but you had like this little inkling that you just didn't know how to tap into. And this whole shift has, I feel like sensories. I feel like your sensories have been increased. It's like you now trust in what spirit is giving you, whether it's through dreams, whether it's through just this gut feeling. You're starting to trust in that. You're starting to understand the balance between spirit and how it translates here. Those visions and those words and those signs that are being given to you. You see, because there's a lot of us, especially during this time, and especially a bunch of Capricorns, for many reasons. But especially for Capricorns, you are being called upon. So your vibration is a little bit different. I can feel the tingling in my fingers for you, Capricorn. You're learning how to harness that. You're learning how to like bring it from spirit and bring it here into your world. That's what I'm seeing. And it's creating like this alchemist relationship between you and spirit. And you're just in the middle of trying to figure out how to translate that from spirit to here with the living without looking like a cuckoo bird. And really, and that's how I feel. It's like you can tell people that I've had this feeling, but they're kind of like, oh yeah, we all did. But no, it's like I actually did, or I had this dream. So you're trying to figure out, like, how do I translate these things that are coming to me? So people don't look at me as someone not to believe, someone not to trust, someone they think is just, losing it. Let's see if spirit can give us some insight. So in your moon energy, and your moon energy is where spirit is working in your favor, and or where you are resonating your energy, and believe me, the two have a relationship. So right away we have the 5 of Cups along with the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. So right away this is telling me about these messages that you're getting and you didn't know how to translate them, right? Because like really some of you have gotten actual images of where we are now, or you started living your life a certain way. I want to say sometime last year to kind of prepare you for this. And you didn't even realize that you were preparing for it because you were getting downloads. You were getting downloads and you just couldn't decipher, like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I moving my family this way? Why am I moving this way? Why am I making these sort of decisions? Because these downloads were moving you. They were encouraging you. This was happening in spirit. And then with this 5 of Cups, right? And you see how he looks so disappointed? But the thing about this 5 of Cups, and you know, 5 represent change, and change are the most uncomfortable parts of being. And one thing about you in particular, Capricorn, because you are a planner, that we didn't plan for those 3 cups to spill, or else you would have never filled them up. That's kind of your way of thinking. Like, if I knew they were going to tip over, if I knew they weren't stable, if I knew they couldn't hold what I hold dear, I would have never filled them up. I would have never brought them on this trip. And you trusted in that system. But see, it wasn't all destruction, and it still isn't destruction. It's just change. It's just a spill. It's just temporary. We don't have to lie here. What we can do, and especially because it is in our moon energy, we can visit it. We can say, hey, this was disappointing, but grab all 5 of your cups, Capricorn, because you are going to have the opportunity again to fill them up with much better things than this little old Kool-Aid that was in there. Because that's how I feel. I feel that was like Kool-Aid. That wasn't like a good Pinot Noir. You know what I'm saying? It was okay for that to spill. Let's go into your sun energy. And right away I have the 2 of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. And what do I mean by your sun energy? This is where you show up, Capricorn, right? This is how I see you. This is how you see yourself. And this is how other folks see you. It is your ego. So right away, I can see with these 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, and it comes back here. It's like you're figuring out how to balance the 2 because these downloads are coming to you. These intuitive thoughts, these intuitive tugs are tugging at you. And you're trying to figure out, how do I maneuver that into my ego, into my life, into my world? How do I balance it? Also, I'm getting the feeling, Capricorn, please pay attention to your health, right? Other than the obvious. And this is more of a mental health. So no matter what state you're in, whether you are working from home, we no longer have work, whatever the case, or if you're somewhere in between there, I feel like balance is really important. Find those things that bring you joy, that tickle your heart. And how you get there, Capricorn, is you think about those times where you experienced joy and happiness. That little butterfly in your stomach, go there. And you might have to sit down and meditate, but go there and grab that energy. And that's going to help you balance your mental state. I feel like that's really important to talk about. And then with this Ace of Cups, I feel like, okay, a lot of us Capricorns are really focused on relationships. Like, I feel that heavy. But it's more of like, why do I keep hearing shoulda, coulda, woulda? I keep hearing shoulda, coulda, woulda. So I don't know if we are in a current relationship or if these are past relationships, but I feel like you're almost holding the actions of the other against them, or someone's holding it against you. It's almost like I can't move forward because I'm going to keep thinking about all these things that you could have done, you should have did back when you should have done it. Spirit is saying, no, right? Love is love is love. And love is about forgiving. You see how it overflows? You see that gift? You see that hand? It's not struggling with that cup. It is sturdy. That's how you need to be, not here thinking about all the things they could have done or even all the things you could have done. And then I also get this is like a two-way kind of street because let's face it, Capricorn, you are the worker sign, right? You are the one who identifies with job well done. And I feel like that because you had an inkling that this was going to happen, you feel like that you could have made other moves. You could have put your money in a different way, like you could have planned your family different, or I almost feel like some of us even accepted a job right before all of this happened, and then all of a sudden you're out of a job. It's like, I moved my family here, right? I brought my dog, you know, I got this new apartment, now I can't pay for it. What? So I feel like you keep going over all of those things that you could have stopped because you didn't listen to your gut feeling. We're going to address that. Now, let's go to your moon energy and see what's going on with this Five of Cups. Oh, before we do that, how about I go to your immediate present, because you showed right on up to your own reading. So right away, we already talked about your Temperance card being the center of your reading, right? We have the Nine of Wands along with the Devil card. You know what I find interesting about this Nine of Wands, and what I feel for you, Capricorn, is that I want to say maybe the past 9-10 years, it has been more than a transformation. I almost feel like it's, you know, we started from the bottom, now we're here. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like from the gutter to like where you are now. And it may not be like you're in a mansion or anything, but you've had places in your life to where you felt like giving up. It's the truth. Where you're like, if this is as good as it gets, I'm finished with this. Like, that's where you came from. And see, that's the look on his face. And it's not one of defeat. It's not one of success either. But it's one of like, I made it through. You can look back at all those wands and you can see wand by wand, year by year, the progress you've made. So you're just looking back at your progress. That's not a face of, I give up. That's a face of, I made it up. I did it. And for some of you, it was through any means necessary. And because this Devil card showed up, right, that tells me, Capricorn, this message is for you. These are major arcanas in your immediate present. This is Spirit saying, I am coming to you. Pay attention to these messages. Don't get boggled down by the nonsense. Because it's easy. It's easy to get attached to that newscaster. It's easy to get attached to that political leader. It's easy to get attached to the hysteria. Because that's what those shackles are. It's ignorance, really. And please let me be clear. It's not one in don't listen to what the messages are that are coming to us as a collective, but it's one of, you can separate crazy from truth. That's what I mean. You can separate hysteria from love. You can separate the things you need from the things that you want, right? And that's how you're gonna make your decisions. Okay, now we can expand. So incredible. So I expanded on that Five of Cups, and we have the Six of Wands. I want to say just about every sign has the Six of Wands. And what this card represents, right? It's almost like it's a parade for like job well done, right? But that's not the energy I'm getting for all of us as a collective, because as a collective, all of our energy is very similar, believe it or not, because for the first time that I can think of in my lifetime, as a collective, we are all on that same frequency of what next? And this is also a representation of the things that's happening in your everyday life. So obviously everyone's everyday life is coming to like something different. It's just not the same. But here we have the Empress card that I just dropped. Let me grab it. This was also coupled with that Six of Wands. And that's another energy, and it's a major arcana, so we can expect that long term, right? And this is happening in your moon energy. So spirit is working on this empress. That empress represents Venus. Venus represents love, right? Set your frequency there, Capricorn. In addition to that, it represents prosperity, the birth of new ideas, new job. If you're wondering if it's a yes or no, this is a yes. So we can definitely see something new in our everyday lives. Now, when I expanded on that Seven of Cups, I got that Emperor card along with the Ten of Swords. And we already know what the Ten of Swords, just by looking at this card. You don't have to be an intuitive to know what this means. That's ding dong dead. There is no coming from this. And the reason why it is so dramatic is to get that message across of no longer do you need to reside here. No longer do we have to have all this chaotic thinking and dreams. Clarity is coming. And we have the Emperor card. Interestingly enough, the Emperor is the year of 2020, number 1. The Emperor also represents the number 4, right? What does the number 4 represent? Stability. This is far from being stable. This is an ending of this craziness because the Emperor has come down and set up shop. Another major arcana along with the Empress. They're almost like a couple, the power couple. They're like the spiritual power couple working in your moon energy. Okay, so these downloads. The similarities are just astounding, right? So I expanded on these downloads. We have the Ace of Wands, along with the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. We are all being awakened to the falsities, to the lies, right? All the things that we were drinking. We were drinking old nasty Kool-Aid, trying to pretend like it was a nice Chardonnay, it was a nice Pinot Noir, right? And the reason why we are so brokenhearted and disappointed because we were drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking it was wine, and then we were serving it to other people. And people believed that it was also wine because Capricorn doesn't do fake. They don't do phony, right? So now you're like, crap, I was feeding them phony too. They turned you into a person of bending the truth. Because it was bent for you. But not to worry, right? Because these downloads are about, and this is information. So I don't know if a lot of us, I see a lot of us on a computer, we're like getting truth there. And I think I got this for another sign, I don't know, but I feel like that, like we're seeking the truth, right? We are seeking the truth. And it's being sent to us, it's being told to us, it's being shared with us. And we're realizing that you've been lied to. But guess what it does? It's going to bring this new passion of pushing forward, of change. Of change. You see how much power he has? How much grip? Like you can tell because you can see by the light around his hand, right? That there's power in that. I hear we're not going to take it anymore. We are not going to take it anymore. I'm sorry, my spirit guides they're pretty funny. I can't even repeat what I just heard. Okay. I hear I'll be GD if I'm gonna let them do this. I don't want to curse on here because I might have a younger audience listening. But it's more like I'll be damned. That's what I hear with this. I'll be damned if I let this go down. I'll be damned now that I know the truth that I'm gonna let this happen. Unbelievable. I expanded on that Two of Pentacles, and I got the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Listen, people, collective, what is about to happen? I feel like there's about to be an uproar. There's about to be like a demanding of justice. Everyone is getting like the Emperor card, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is the Devil Wears Prada energy. And what I mean is when she shows up, there's business to be had. If you've ever watched that movie, as soon as she came in and threw her fur onto her assistant, along with her sunglasses and her handbag, right? They were trembling to get it all because she had a presence. She had a presence. And that's what this Queen of Wands is. She comes with charisma. She comes with intelligence. She knows how to tell it like it is. By the time it comes out of her mouth and it comes to your ears, it is so relatable because it's transparent. It's not fluffy. It's not something just so your ears can be massaged, right? It's that truth in a relatable way. And with this Knight of Pentacles, right, and this is showing up in your immediate present, it's not going to happen right away because it needs to be deliberate. Because that's what the Knight of Pentacles is. He's the slowest of all the knights, but he is the most deliberate. With each step of the hoof that hits the ground as he is on his journey is a different thought. It's almost like a rhythmic sound that matches his heartbeat. Because once you get to your destination and this energy shows up, everyone, everything, everybody's gonna stop and listen. And then I expanded on that Nine of Swords, and I have the Eight of Cups along with the Ace of Pentacles. To me, that's you bringing the word, right? That's you bringing the word. And you know, this Eight of Cups, this isn't one of walking away, right? I feel like it's like you're turning your back. You're turning your back on those lies. Yeah. Yes, because you're intuitively getting them. And that's what made you kind of like start really researching it. It's almost like you just heard this one little thing, this one little word, and it connected somehow, right? We know how, but it connected. And that's what caused like this, this fire inside of you to where you almost can't stop yourself from finding out more truth. And now that you know, you have to walk away from what, you have to walk away from that doggone Kool-Aid. That's what happened. You poured out all the Kool-Aid and you neatly stacked those cups up there because you wanted everyone to know, like, look, I know the gig is up. I just want you to know that I know, and I still respect myself enough to where I'm not knocking down all these cups. I'm gonna put them up as nice as neat so when you come in here, you are completely shocked. I'm gonna leave with class and dignity. And then you even took one with you. So you remember the lies. And this Ace of Pentacles, right? For some of us, that is gonna be a financial surprise, a financial needing. Some of us are giving money. Perhaps we're donating. Yeah. Some of the truths that you're finding out is so frippin' hurtful because you felt like you were part of it, because you were lied to. That's why you're walking away. And that's why you're gonna give whatever you can. And this is tangible things. It's not just money. Sometimes it's a car. Sometimes it's a place to live. Sometimes it's shelter. Sometimes it's just, all I can give you is my promise I'm gonna make this right. My word. And that's big. Okay, so let's see what's going on in your immediate present, right? Because we see here that you have a past, right? You've had a past. You've come from somewhere and you have gotten here. So many new beginnings. It's incredible. I expanded on that Nine of Wands. We have the Four of Cups along with the Knight of Swords. So of course, with rehashing or even thinking about looking at the past year by year, because you've had a little bit of time now, because you're kind of searching mentally, like, where else was I living? Where else was there a lie being told to me to where I believed it for the past 8 to 10 years? Like, you're mentally searching. And there's some untruth that you're finding there. But Capricorn, don't let this blessing, right? Because it's a blessing in disguise. Because your growth is still that, it's still growth, right? You see this plant here? I've had it for maybe a year and that sucker will not grow. I have taken it all over my doggone house. I have watered it, I've not watered it, I've researched, like, how can I make it grow? How can I make it larger? Because I see people who have really big plants, right? So all I think about is what I'm not doing right, so that can be at its fullest potential. And I bet you in the past year that I've had it, that it has grown, but I don't recognize that because I'm focusing so much on what I'm not doing. There's a blessing there, right? So even despite me and this relationship that I have with this doggone plant, it has taught me to nurture it. It has taught me to pay attention to when it's starting to wilt. It has taught me to take it to different sunlight. It's taught me to research this plant, to learn about other plants. You see, I gained something which was bigger than just seeing another leaf. I hope this translates to you, Capricorn. You've had some blessings in some of those challenges, and some of them have just been simply spiritual. Now, with the King of Swords coupled up with that, and you know, the King of Swords, he is one of intelligence, and he brings not only truth, which is a little bit different from the Queen of Swords, because she's like a tell it like it is. She doesn't even care if she's hurting your feelings. The King of Swords, he's almost like the accountant of the cosmos, right? Not in a financial way, but in a matter of fact kind of way. And I have the intelligence to back it up. And I'm not here to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad, but here are the facts. Here's the science, right? I'm going to expand on that a little bit more. Yeah. So factually, Capricorn, factually, 10 of Cups. Remember how we were talking, so nines are endings. So this whole 9 of Wands, to where you're looking back and you're like, man, I've come so far. This is proof. Because 10s are endings and beginnings. Like something ended, a cycle has ended, so something new and beautiful can start. This is one of love overflowing, much like that of the Ace. Here we go. The Ace of Cups. So to have that in your ego energy and then have this in your immediate present, like all this disappointment and all that stuff you've been through is gone, is dead, ding dong dead. It is full with love, happiness, grace, compassion. Be compassionate with yourself, Capricorn. And I expanded on that Devil card, and we have the 5 of Swords along with the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of truth that you've been handling. And I feel like there's a lot of truth that you've been coming across to where I feel like you and truth have been toe to toe. Right? Almost like you had to stand up to truth. Because there's some things that you didn't want to face, and because you've done this little activity and you've kind of, you're getting over this, right? You're getting over this time of woe is me, why is everything happening to me, right? Once you get over that, and I'm not making light of it, I'm not. I am in a way, because you survived it. Like, I just want you to think of those past things that happened to you as not your frippin' identity. Don't wear it like a cape. And so Capricorn, some of these truths that are coming to you when you were toe to toe and you had to kind of take responsibility in some things, right? It was kind of like, there's no winner and there's no loser. And that's kind of the same energy, right? Yes, thank you. So this message is specifically for those who are like tied to the TV, tied to the internet. You even go to YouTube and replay it and send it to family members and send it to coworkers, right? Unhinge this, because it's not helping anyone. Like you think it is. It's like you want people to be informed, but it's getting you so hyped up, and you're getting your family hyped up to where everybody's like on extra stress and like tensed up. But that's not what you need, and it does not one person any good, especially yourself. So listen to the truth and the information, because when you do that, instead of listening to everything and listening to everyone, this is going to help you with new ideas, new starts, innovation. And I just keep hearing that. I just keep hearing innovation. And this is really worldwide. But Capricorn, you are obviously involved in that somehow, and you are intuitively feeling it. Let's expand on this Temperance card. And as I'm sitting here, I can hear some of you Capricorns like, how am I supposed to intuitively get it? Like, how do I grab onto that energy? And I'm telling Spirit, because I can hear you asking me that. I'm telling Spirit, like, I don't know how to tell them that. I don't know how to tell them to get there. And they said they have to figure it out. They have to figure it out. So the High Priestess, right? So this is the thing with the High Priestess. You see that scroll. The reason she is so intuitive, because she already has the scroll of what is to be. And now, this anxiety, and I feel it's different from anxiety. I almost feel like that you're having a hard time deciphering between what's really truth to grab onto and what's just hysteria. Once you figure out which one is truth, you'll be able to resonate in that High Priestess energy. And she's going to help you intuitively get to that truth. And there's a Knight of Wands to help you along that journey. Because that Knight brings passion, it brings speed, it brings intention. And that's what you're going to need to get to that spiritual connection. Thank you. All right, Capricorn, that is all I have for your April 2020. I do have a new activity that I have. I had a girlfriend of mine that got me this cute little bucket with these little angel cards. And what I would do is have it by my desk, and I would choose 3 cards for the day or for the week, and I would try to resonate my energy there. So let's see what messages we have from these angel cards. So anytime that we are in that space, anytime we're in this space, let these be words of encouragement to reshift your frequency and your energy. And the first one I have is vision, right? That is in line with what we're talking about intuitively lining up with that Hierophant energy, is our vision. It's not only about what you see with your eyes. I hope you get that, Capricorn. The next one is transformation. Kidding me. transformation. Obviously, we're going through a major transformation. Like I said, some of us are going through a, like you're being enlightened, you're being woken up, right? You can spiritually feel this. And I feel like a lot of you were getting it sometime last year. Now it's just like, you can almost hear your ears ringing. You're like, what? Do I need my ears checked? No, that is spirits coming to get you. The next one is flexibility. This is so important because with this transition, there's no telling when you're going to be getting these signs, these downloads, right? And your flexibility with your family and your job, and flexibility with this new innovative world that you're not only going to be living in, but you're going to be a part of. All right, Capricorn, listen, I absolutely adore you. I hope that resonated with you.